Hey everyone, it's Libby from Maighstirtarot. Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, that's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energies. Today is my Thursday. I must admit, I am feeling absolutely exhausted today. I had a really good night's sleep. I've been sleeping okay, but the energies are just so exhausting at the moment. So I think I'm going to have an afternoon nap as well. Okay, there's a lot of news happening. I do recommend that you just Google world news at least once a day and go have a look at the headlines at BBC, Al Jazeera, AP News, etc. And if anything catches your attention, because there is a lot of news coming out. Just have a quick skim read of the article. And I do find the written form of news is a lot better than the video because, okay, yeah, it says me doing a video. I find that you can skim quite quickly and get the gist of what's happening without all the clickbaiting add-ons that seem to happen in the news channel videos. You know, the old roll the clip, drives me nuts. Okay, and you can skim through and get right to the point within seconds. Okay, so I'm using the Tarot Grand Lux. What I want to have a look at in this particular reading is I want to have a look at the future of the Dem Party. Now, I have seen it splitting along lines of the progressive, socially minded Democrats. I don't like the term socialist Democrats because there are connotations with the word socialist that has been corrupted over the years. So I like to call them socially minded versus the corporate Dems. And what's happened overnight is Dr. Abdul El Sayed beat Haley Stevens in Michigan in the primary. Now, this was a really important primary. It was pretty much one of the highest stakes ones because Dr. El Sayed is a progressive, socially minded Democrat. He's pushing to cut the influence of corporate money in politics, criticise US aid to is not real, and he was running as an outsider with the support of Bernie Sanders and AOC. Now, he's very much against the influence of corporate donors who spent a record amount of money on the primary race for Michigan. And the opponent was Haley Stevens, who apparently not only was getting money from the DNC, but was also getting money from SpaceX, BlackRock, etc. So the big corporate donors. So, and she had the backing of Chuck Schumer, who's, to be honest, time has been. His time was over and done with really pretty much 20 years ago, when a sternly worded letter and discussions across the aisle actually meant something. But I just want to have a look. In light of this latest primary, is there going to be a shift for the Dems? Now, I've actually written David Hogg's name down because I do see Ken Martin. He'll try and stay. I read a couple of months ago that David Hogg was going to be quite influential going forward. He just needed to learn a bit of life experience first. But let's have a look. Is this win? Defeat of Haley Stevens, is it going to bring about, so I'm using the Tarot Grand Lux in case I hadn't showed you already, is this win, well, okay, thank you. Show me the corporate Dems. How are they feeling with this loss? The corporate Dems, how are they feeling with this loss? What was it, 60 million or something was put in? Let's have a look. How are they feeling with this loss? Okay, come on down. Let's have a look. Oh, this is interesting. Now, I started this reading and then stopped it and started again because I went on some wild tangent that wasn't relevant, and so it was like, oh no, don't need to go there. It's part of being tired. My guides take me to some really weird places. And this card came out front and center in that one as well. So interesting, despite the shuffling, there it is again. The Hermit card. A light is being shone. People are actually waking up and being aware and looking at. I mean, this money has always been in politics in the US. The corporate Dems is nothing new. They've been around since before the 1980s. It's just out in the open now. It's not hidden anymore in the darkness. There's a light being shone on it, and I'm talking about APAC money. I'm talking about fossil fuel money. I'm talking about, I mean, if SpaceX and BlackRock are supporting this Dem candidate along with APAC money, what is it telling you about what side of the aisle they're actually supporting? And it's not the people. So yeah, there's this big light being shone, which I'm going to give huge credit for, because at the end of the day in the US, with the education system having pretty much been undermined for a lot of areas over the last 30, 40 years, where people are being the youngsters are being taught to regurgitate rather than be curious, rather than to challenge, rather than to critically think for themselves. What is happening, so there's that sector, and then once they leave school and they're struggling, where's my next meal going to come from? How am I going to pay for the medication for my kids? How am I going to afford the rent? How am I going to pay for the bus fare to get to work, or the car repayment, because the public transport system's pretty ordinary in a lot of areas. And then they come home and they're looking for escapism, and they switch on the telly, and there's this rubbish reality TV stuff that takes no concentration whatsoever. They don't have room left over in their minds to actually look at and analyze and delve into, why is it like this? What are the politics that are like this? Why is my life in this situation? It's just, there's no energy left over. So credit where credit is due, that people are actually waking up and there is a light being shone on the money in politics, and a realization and a light bulb going off. Okay, the challenge is on the back foot, trying to defend the status quo position. That's going to be the challenge. Now, I have seen for years now that both the Republican and Dem parties will split up into MAGA Republicans and conservative Republicans, and then you've got the socially progressive Dems and the corporate Dems. So we end up with 4 elements instead of the 2 of the moment. So the challenge at the moment is, this guy's in his castle. He's got his armor on. He thinks what he's trying to do is he's trying to protect the status quo. So that's going to be the challenge, is this is how we've always done it, so therefore this is how it should be done type attitude, which is a very backward looking. So the challenge is going to be is those within the Dem party trying to fend off this new messaging that is coming out with this 7 of Wands, this new messaging. 6 versus 1, however, trying to defend it off because they want to keep the status quo. The energy that they're stewing in is, there is a harsh truth that is being brought forward. The Knight of Swords. There is an undeniable message of truth here. Now, they can put their heads under the cover and go, la, 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 it's not happening. This is how we've always done it, so this is how we're always going to do it. But the truth is it cannot be denied, this shift. Okay, so again, it's same with all parts of life at the moment. It's either get on board or get left behind. In the past, we've got the Queen of Cups. Okay. Is this Pelosi keeping a lid on a situation, or is this AOC taking the lid off? So in the past, we've got this feminine energy. Now, it can also mean that it is just something internal. So keeping a lid on what is happening internally, keeping a lid on the emotions internally. Don't get emotional about this type thing. The DNC did itself absolutely no favours whatsoever by not releasing its election report. And when it did, it was so insipid and said nothing. And anyhow, yeah, they are facing a judgment call. But what are they going to do about it? There is this huge collective uprising against the status quo. Okay, now I have heard, a few of you have told me that the DNC is pretty much broke. The reason being is that people are waking up and look, shining a light in the dark and seeing what was previously hidden that they do not like. It's a harsh truth that the current corporate Dems are trying to defend their position, but the wake-up call is here. And what is happening is that the supporters are supporting the candidates, not the party. So the money's being sent directly to El Said, not to the DNC, okay, which is really interesting. The Ten of Swords, ending. The truth is, it is the ending of the Democratic Party as we know it. The swords are dropping. Now, in this figure, his hands are bound as those swords drop, which to me is very much looking like a reluctance to, are they bound? No, they're not bound, but they are ropes around them. So it's pretty much saying my hands are tied, but they're not. And it is this reluctance to move forward. But the truth is they're going to have no option, which kind of worries me in the lead up to a midterm election. I think we're just going to have to grit our teeth and vote blue no matter who, even though I can't vote, and then deal with this after the midterms. I'm still dubious about the midterms. I'll have a look closer to the date, because the Orange Idiot came out in a speech the other day and declared that he's going to challenge the result if the Repubs don't win. He's not going to accept the result. So he's already signalled that even if it's a blue wave, it's somehow not going to be, the representatives are not going to be installed. Speaking of which, interestingly enough, I'll just pop those down. News came across my desk this morning. I think it was Aaron Parness did a little video. I watched about 2 seconds of it. A commercial airliner came within a mile of the Orange Idiot's helicopter or something along those lines. Yeah. Tell me if it comes within 100 feet. There is this sensationalism about, they had the other day, someone was found on the golf course and they had in their car a pew-pew that was unregistered and all the rest of it. Potential. So there's this attempt via the regime of putting stuff out into the media to try and gauge the reaction to a threat to the Orange Idiot's life. Nobody cares. I mean, someone walked on a golf course and their car way back wherever had an unregistered pew-pew in it. How many unregistered ones are there in the US? I imagine there's a fair few. And aircraft came within a mile of each other. And it's not like they were actually going to hit. Oh, so there's this almost desperation to try and put a story across that his life was at threat, even though it never was. Okay, mutter, mutter, mutter. Okay, so the Ten of Swords in the immediate future. It is very much take notice and ignore at your own risk. That's all I can say. Ignore at your own risk. Okay. We've got here externally the Temperance card, trying to balance, trying to juggle, trying to create something, trying to create alchemy, trying to bring moderation and balance, perhaps even declaring we need to be more moderate and balanced. And the people are saying, what? Moderation and balance was all well and good when you actually had an administration that played by the rules, even if they were just a gentleman's handshake, not even legal. Yeah, I'm just going to say if they come out with the we need to we calm down everybody type thing, it's going to be an absolute disaster for them. Okay, let's have a look. Internally, the Ace of Cups. Emotions are very heightened at the moment, and they need a thorough cleansing. So we got the Queen of Cups here, keeping a lid, but the lid being taken off. And then we've got here internally what is required is, I think there's a lot of heightened emotion happening behind the scenes. You've got the money spinning around with the goldfish, because goldfish mean wealth. The wealth spinning around, the partnerships, we can't upset our corporate donors and all the rest of it. So there's a lot of heightened emotion here, but what's really required is a good old dose of Epsom salts. Okay, the hopes and fears, the Star card. Hopefully, there is a star that will step forward. Again, 2 cups pouring that will be able to, I think this is a separation, honestly. I think the fear is the separation. You've got 1 cup pouring on land, 1 cup pouring in the water. That's the fear. The hope is that they can galvanize behind one leader. Okay, what's going to be the outcome? The Four of Swords, going within, having a good hard look, stepping back and retreating in the face of this harsh truth here. Hopefully not a strongly worded letter. The Chariot, chaotic movement forward, trying to get the 2 sides of the Dem party pulling together where they're actually going in separate directions, chaos. And then we've got the Knight of Wands. A younger message coming forward, a younger leadership coming forward of strength. Powerful message being brought forward about strength. Okay, on the bottom you've got the wheel, because absolutely times have changed. The wheel is turning. What was will no longer be. You've got the nightmare situation with the 9 of Swords. If you ignore the truth, if they ignore the reality of what people are demanding, they're not interested in bloody daylight savings. Who gives a rat's poo bear about permanent daylight savings? They want to know what you're going to do about the price gouging at the supermarket, about the destruction of Medicare, about this illegal conflict that is happening in Persia. People do not care about something as stupid as turning the clocks forward or backwards or whatever and leaving them there. Ah, excuse me, my frustration here. Yeah, the Nine of Swords. Times have changed. However, it is time to face the boogeyman, the important, because it is very much about the home front, the Ten of Cups, but what happens if they sit back and think all is hunky-dory and lazy and light the fire and I'm comfortable, it will be the ending for them. And there's the world, an ending, a cycle ending, stepping through into the new cycle. You've got the Three of Cups. Now, I know there are three females, but I would say that is probably Schumer, Jeffries, and probably Pelosi being the elder statesman or something along those lines, clinking their cups together, thinking that they've got it in the bag because they're not Republicans. But they've chained themselves to this energy just as much as the GOP have. The young people are bringing forward a strong message out of left field. Ignore it at your peril. The dithering about which way to go. But the veil is being shredded. People are seeing clearly about, we've got this betrayal, abuse of power when confronted with this devil, when confronted with these hidden agendas and secrets. And you've got these corporate Dems that just want to go back to the past, to how it was. Information about money with the Page of Pentacles is coming out with the Moon card. Be careful what you wish for, because the new messaging is coming. The young people have had a gutful. And I'll put myself in that even though I'm nearly 60, I like to think I'm young in thought. Frustration, justice card, actions having consequences, or face the truth with that Ace of Swords. Face the truth, take a stand, or move on. Move on with that Six of Swords, take your money and go. Get out with that Eight of Cups, get out of government. Yep, absolutely. And get the money out of government as well. Absolutely. Do not underestimate the young people coming through and the sense of frustration from those that cast their ballots. Yeah, they are being seen as paid mercenaries, pay for play. The people are feeling betrayed. You've got then the fighting that will occur, the powerful messaging that will actually bring an internal conflict, and then the pretty much the ending. So there is so much at stake at the moment, and you've got these ditherers who are bringing forward bills, and writing strongly worded letters that mean nothing. Yep. You've got as I split the deck, the Four of Swords again. This harsh truth is coming forward, but it's a retreat to contemplate. And it will be foolish to do so, because we are in uncharted waters and new beginnings. Okay, tell me about Ken Martin. head of the DNC, Ken, who you might say? Ken Martin. Okay, I'm going to do 3 cards for Ken Martin, 3 cards for Schumer, and 3 cards for Jeffries. Show me Ken Martin. Okay, you want that one? Oh, money. It's all about the money. Money, 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 money. I'm okay, Joe. Ken Martin. Let's have a look. Show me Ken Martin. Ken Martin. Ooh, interesting. Here's that one back again. The Hermit. Oh, I've got the Chariot on the bottom, pulling in 2 directions. And this one's peeking out, telling me to take it. And the Fool. Okay. So let's come down. Ken Martin. The money, the light is being shone, and the Fool. I'm going to put that one to the side. There's the Chariot and the Wheel and the Judgment. The demanding of action with that King of Wands. A lot of messaging coming forward about the feeling of betrayal. Oh, okay, that's the DNC itself. Show me what have we got coming. So there's a strength of a rising star here. Show me Schumer. What do we need to know about Schumer? The Dem head in the Senate. Schumer, you want that one? Oh, that 10 of Cups. I'm all right. There's the star on the bottom again. The rising star. Or just, no, this is the star and then the 3 of coins. And then again, we've got this I'll be right type thing, but it's disenfranchised. So he's the visual head of the Dem with the star, but he's pretty much overseeing this split because of the money taking, but also, I'll be right, Joe. Oh, okay, show me Jeffries. Show me Jeffries. I'm not going to have a look at the midterms yet. And there's the Queen of Coins. So you got the King of Coins for Ken Martin and the Queen of Coins for Jeffries, the Magician, and the Ace of Wands. Manipulation, new messaging, but again, 2 of Coins trying to juggle. Foot in each camp, but trying to juggle the taking of the money with the powerful messaging that's coming forward. On the bottom, we've got the Moon card, more secrets coming forward about money and this desire to go back to the past, how it was. I'm so incredibly frustrated with this. They are not up to the challenge of the moment. They are not, and I'm just going to say they're not listening to the people, and they don't want to listen to the people because they want to, and this is the top 3 in the DNC, they're wanting things to be how it used to, how it was, where we got our job for life and made our money and there was no conflict, we were all friendly, and this is flipped over again. This is the card of the day in regards to this reading, the Hermit. The light is being shone. Ignore it at your peril. Actions will have consequences because there is this birth of something significantly new. Come on down. The Hermit, the Justice. People are watching. We are in this new era. There should be abundance for all. But at the moment, people are flat out just trying to protect their own. When there is this, How much did 60 million or whatever it was on one primary? Like, really? I mean, I may have that figure wrong, I don't know, but it is that sort of money. You've got the 10 of Wands, the inability to bring it home. And then the 6 of Swords, trying to move out of troubled waters, but the swords are all here, the truth is all here, trying to rip the bottom out of the boat. You ignore it at your own peril. Because look here, nobody is there's got this one figure here, can see these swords in the waters, but the other two are ignoring them, the swords of truth. Jeffries may be aware, and the other two, la la la. I'm not quite sure how it goes, but will the Democratic Party survive the midterms? Will the Democratic Party survive the leader to the midterms? Will the Democratic Party survive the leader to the midterms? Queen of Swords. It's my Harris card. However, you've got this internal strategy. The 10 of Pentacles again, money, harvesting money. And then the King of Swords. Magician, the delusion, the harsh truth with the Knight of Swords, the 5 of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups, and then the Queen of Wands. I think there's going to, I think the inspirational female here, there very well be a change in leadership, and I'm talking about in the Senate. I don't know who would step up, because you've got that King of Pentacles on the bottom, the money, and the Tower, and the Justice card, actions having consequences, about information about the money coming out, and then the contemplation when faced with the harsh truth. And there's that card again, the Hermit card. Light being shone. I'm hoping, I don't know who this female would be. Internal strategy, external strategy, but it's a delusional smoke and mirrors, harsh, being faced with a harsh truth. They have a chance, but it's going to take pretty much a tearing down of the status quo with that Tower card and the King of Coins. It's going to take a massive shift, and I don't know that they've got it in them. Has me really worried, has me really, really worried, because the Fool card, foolishness if they don't, but we are in new times. It is new times. The High Priestess, secrets being revealed, and the Fool. The hidden agendas, the working behind the scenes. It doesn't work. It's not going to work anymore. Because if the Dems leadership is not very visibly there for the people, because Ma'am Dami is given a perfect example. Oh gosh, there's that card again. The Hermit card, light has been shone in the dark. shone, coming out of the darkness. Mamdani who is the star and shone a light on it, he has achieved in 6 months what the Dem Party has been promising for, oh gosh, there's the Tower again. And the Tower and the Fool and the infighting and this new messaging and the loss and regret. He has done in 6 months what the Dems have been promising for decades, but claimed it was all too hard. Can't do it for the people. We got to look after our corporates for you. And he's proven that both can live in unity. The world will not crash. The sky will not fall in by taxing the uber wealthy and supplying basic commodities for those in need. He's proven it. Boy, oh boy, are they worried. But they need to, preaching to the converted here, I know. Preaching to the choir. You know where I'm going with this. Okay, I am really worried for the Dem Party because people can see what is possible, what is achievable, and if the federal Dem Party will not stand up and engage on that level with the people, for the people, a lot of people just won't vote because they'll just, what's the point? It's just more of the same. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That was a bit scary, wasn't it? Okay. See how it plays out. Love to you all. Catch you shortly.